worst person in your life? Partner who cheated. The friend who betrayed you. The business partner who stole everything. We call them broken. We call them toxic. But what if that's completely wrong? What if the person who hurt you most was the only one qualified for the job? For years, I've been doing something not a lot of people do. I listen to a person's higher self, the wisest part of them, and what it reveals will blow your mind. I'm about to share what I learned from 3 people who were completely destroyed by someone they trusted. We changed the names, but the lessons are 100% real. What you're about to hear challenges everything you thought you know about justice. This doesn't excuse what they did. It gives you a powerful new way to find meaning in the pain and finally take back your power. First, there's Sarah. She was annihilated. After a 20-year marriage, she found out her husband was living a secret double life. It wasn't just an affair. It was a decade-spanning web of lies. The shock gave her severe PTSD. Nightmares, anxiety, constant fear. Her entire world was gone. In her session, her higher self said something that changed everything. It said, he wasn't broken. He was the perfect locksmith. For 20 years, you lived in a cage you built yourself. A cage of people-pleasing and making yourself small. You called it a good marriage, but your soul called it a prison. Any other man would have just rattled the bars, but this man, with his unique talent for deceit, he was qualified to pick the lock. He was the only one who could destroy the cage so completely. You had to leave. The betrayal wasn't the point. Your freedom was. Let's be clear, this doesn't make the pain okay. But it reframes the why. It stopped being about him and started being about her liberation. The man she called the villain was a specialist, sent with the exact key to set her free. The betrayal wasn't the tragedy. It was the escape plan. Next up is Marcus, a tech genius. He and his best friend built a multi-million-dollar company from scratch. They were like brothers. Then his partner did the unthinkable. He manipulated the board, kicked Marcus out, and he stole the company. Marcus lost everything. He was consumed by rage, plotting lawsuits, replaying every moment. He believed that his work was gone forever. But here's the insane truth that came through. His higher self explained that betrayal was the only force strong enough to separate you from your creation. You had attached your soul to the logo. Your partner didn't steal your company. He was a spiritual surgeon, the only person with a hand steady enough to cut you away from the one thing you would never let go of. He taught you that you are not what you build. You are the builder. Your hands built it once. Now they're free to build something that can't be stolen. First, Marcus was furious, but then it clicked. Revenge was chaining him to his past. Seeing his ex-partner as a surgeon gave him a path forward. The goal to get himself back. The builder, his greatest creation, wasn't the company. It was his own limitless creativity. The villain didn't destroy him. It unleashed him. This last story is about Chloe. Betrayal was quiet, but just as devastating. Her best friend of 30 years vanished when she needed her the most. Chloe's mom was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and her friend, her rock, just disappeared. Calls ignored, excuses, then total silence. The ghosting left Chloe feeling empty, worthless, and haunted by the one question. Why? The answer from her herself was the most shocking of all. It said, she was qualified to create the silence you needed to finally hear your own voice. For 30 years, her voice was your answer. Her advice was your decision. Her absence wasn't a punishment. It was the space for your own strength to be born. She was the only one who could create a silence so absolute that you had no choice but to find your own comfort and your own answers. It was hard for Chloe to accept, but she knew it was true. She had never made a major decision alone. Her friend's desertion forced her to navigate her grief by herself. She discovered a strength she never knew she had. The villain who left her in the dark was the very reason she found her own light. Betrayed wife, a backstabbed founder, abandoned friend. 3 different stories, one mind-blowing secret. The villains weren't just broken people. They were qualified agents of change. This forces you to look at your worst moments and ask, not why did this happen to me, but what was this here to teach me? Some of life's lessons are so important they require an emotional explosion to be revealed. And the person qualified for that job is almost always someone you deeply trust. Let me be crystal clear. This does not excuse abuse, cheating, and cruelty. Accountability is 100% real. But from a higher perspective, the universe doesn't send you broken people by accident. It sends you qualified people. People qualified to smash the cage, perform the surgery, or make the silence your soul needs to evolve. Betrayal feels like death because it is. It's the death of an old reality. But after death comes rebirth. Scientists call it post-traumatic growth. It's your chance to rebuild, not as you were, but as you were always meant to be. The villain in your story played their part well. The only question is, what will you do now? The power was never theirs. It's always been yours. So who was your villain, and what were they uniquely qualified to teach you? Share your story in the comments. It could be the breakthrough someone else needs to read. And if this changed your perspective even a little bit, smash that like button below and subscribe for more secrets from beyond the veil. When you're ready for your own story, the link to learn more and book with me is below. New episodes every week. I'll see you in the next room.